we're going to do is we're going to sift our flour with our baking soda and baking powder. And you remember a few weeks ago we made pumpkin spice cupcakes? We made our own pumpkin spice sauce, pumpkin spice latte sauce. So we're going to add that there, and also a teaspoon of cinnamon, an extra teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're just going to sift those together. And I'm going to press it through because I know some of these little grains are the allspice and I don't want to miss them. So I'm going to get all the little grains today. I'm cheating today. Normally I tell you don't, but I'm cheating today. And then we're going to put that aside. This is our dry ingredients. We're going to put that aside and we're going to start creaming our butter. And I must have lost my mind when I picked up this butter, because why would I pick up these little squares of butter? So instead of opening one package, I get to open 4. Wow. Look at me just making work for myself. So note to self, they come in little quarters now. They look good. I mean, I think it's convenient when you only want a quarter, but it sure is not convenient right now. Anyhow, this is probably one of the longest steps in this recipe. Well, not really, but close to it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cream this butter. And now that the butter is creamed, we're going to add just regular sugar, just a half cup. And then we're going to add brown sugar. You can do light or dark brown sugar, whatever your preference is. I had dark, so that's what we're using. And let's whip that up nice and creamy. So apparently we only needed 2 of those little sticks of butter and not the 4. I'm telling you, those little sticks threw me off. I don't like them. But what I did, I just added more sugar and I kind of doubled the recipe. And so I have a batch of just sugar and butter, which, you know, that's versatile. We can always use that for the base of something else. And so I scientifically had a process on how I got it to make sure it's half. Literally just smushed it down and then just cut the bowl in half basically and scoop that half out. So we got half in here, okay? It's gonna go like that. And we're gonna add 1 egg, and then we're gonna whip it just a little bit. Now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I went a little over there, but that's okay. And then we're gonna add our cup of canned pumpkin. Yes, I know you can boil your own pumpkin and scoop it out. Or you can just give the pumpkin farmers something to get up for in the morning. And I'm lazy, I ain't gonna lie. So, we're using canned pumpkin. And, oh my gosh, that smells exactly like pumpkin pie, and I love pumpkin pie. Yes, we're gonna do a pumpkin pie, because you know, I can't not do a pumpkin pie. So we're gonna mix this, and it's going to look curdly. That's okay, that's normal. So like I said, I put the pumpkin in, and it looks curdly. It don't look so good. You're gonna think, oh my gosh. You're gonna think this is not coming out. It's gonna come out, it's be fine. That's normal. So let's just do this down. We're gonna give it a little more mix, and then we're gonna add our dry ingredients. Now it's all come together. It doesn't look curdled anymore. And that's it. I'm not the biggest cookie lover. I like cookies. But I like, if I eat a cookie, I kind of like crunchy cookies. And so I wanted to add add some chocolate chips to it, but then I came across these Heath English toffee bits and the salted caramel. And I thought they were going to be really big chunks, but they're kind of tiny. They're cut up really small. So let me taste it. Toffee. Oh, that's nice. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my salted caramel to this little batch. I'm not going to add too much because I think this is rather sweet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these both batches in the fridge for 30 minutes to an hour and clean up, and then I'll be back. It's been about an hour and a half, and for the salted caramel, I definitely think it would be too sweet by itself, and we were missing nuts. I knew something else I wanted in there, so I put some sliced almonds in there, and I tasted it, and I think it's good. I think the nuts really is going to set off the sweetness of the salted caramel and the pumpkin cookie. So I have these silicone mats. If you don't have silicone mats, you can just use parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, then just lightly grease, or if you have a non-stick, you don't need to grease them. So play with it and see what you got and see what's the best way to do it. But I'm going to use these silicone mats, and I'm just going to take a scoop. And this is actually for macarons, so I'm going to kind of use the little circle. I think I'll do them way far apart. That's the thing with cookies, you really don't know until you do them. Kind of like cupcakes. I'd err on the side of caution and go further apart. I don't know if you can see, then closer together. So I saw somewhere online where you can make a big batch of cookies, and if it's just you one or just a few of you in the house, or if you want to make a big batch and then save some for later, well, you can always freeze the batch, but then you have the problem of you got to take it out, you got to kind of defrost it, and whatnot. But someone I saw online, and I really should learn to walk and chew gum, they said to do this part here, right here, like on a parchment, and then put this flat in the freezer and let it freeze into these little balls, and then you can one by one store them in a baggie or in a container in the freezer, and then whenever you want, they will be already individually sized, ready to go, and you can just pop 1 or 2 or 3 in the oven. And I thought that's just genius. Okay, so this is you always want to be mindful of allergies. I really don't know, am I going to keep all these cookies? Am I going to hand them out? So I want to keep the nuts separate. Of course, if you know that you're just making it for your house and everyone in your house is fine with nuts, then just go ahead. And this is the one here that I put the Heath little toffee. Well, I think that's too big. Now I have this big scooper. I have my oven at 350. And I'm just going to finish these up and plop these in the oven for about 11 minutes. And when they come out the oven, as all cookies do, if you're not a cookie maker, you'll learn this the hard way. They're going to be soft in the middle. If you press it, it's going to feel like when the cake is not done. You leave that alone, because that's fine. That's how cookies are. Don't think you have to make that a toothpick come out clean. That's just not how cookies work. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to pop these in the oven for about 11 minutes, and just until they look brown enough where they should be done. I think you gotta wing it a little bit. So I'd say I'm gonna start at 11 minutes and I'm gonna see how it goes. And then we'll see if we got cookies. I am missing a few cookies because my daughter, I'm not sure how many she ate, but she ate a few. So I would say they taste pretty good. They actually really, really taste good. So I like to pretty everything out. And these are all nice and cool. So I'm gonna just bunch them all together. And they're kind of mixed up, but you can kind of tell which ones have the nuts in them. I just wanna make them a little special. So I have some powdered sugar with some pumpkin spice mixture, homemade pumpkin spice mixture. And this is some milk I'm gonna add to this. And you're gonna be very careful because you think you're gonna add enough milk, but then when you start stirring, then you realize, ooh, that was way too much. So less is more when you're adding the milk. See, literally I had all this milk and I just used that drop. And I bought this cute little thing and I'm gonna use it. I don't know what I bought it for, but you know how people like to buy gadgets? Yeah, I buy baking gadgets. I think it's for candy. I don't know, candy something, but we're using it for this. So this is from Wilton. Maybe that's too much. Let's try this. Try to make sense. And I'm just gonna go, I guess I gotta go slower. I'm just gonna put a little bit. The cookies are pretty sweet and the filling is pretty sweet, so we don't wanna put too much. You just wanna kinda add a little something, something. I'm not eating any of these cookies for you today. I've already tasted and they are delicious. And from the missing cookies that I have, my daughter's already eaten, pretty sure about 4 or 5. So they're really good. You have to try them. It's a new little different spin on pumpkin for the pumpkin season, for the Thanksgiving season. And so if you want to bring something different to the Thanksgiving dinner instead of pumpkin pie, because you know everyone's gonna have pumpkin pie, bring some pumpkin cookies. So join me next week in the Fancy Cakery. I'm gonna have a twist on a favorite recipe from one of my subscribers and an old recipe kind of combined into kind of a newish recipe. Well, it'll be my new recipe. So come in the kitchen with me next week and keep baking with me. I am so looking forward to seeing you.